The Department of Justice sued Pennsylvania and some other states. What the DOJ says the states are not providing for voter registration. Former FBI Director James Comey is indicted on criminal charges. Why he's accused of lying to Congress.
The funding isn't quite there yet.
Three months overdue and still no state budget. The final financial decision some school districts are being forced to make.
This is coverage you can count on. WGAL News 8 at noon starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Shapiro. A man is in custody in York charged in a home invasion. York police say they arrested Johnny Lai when they responded around 8:30 yesterday morning for a report of several people with guns trying to break into a home. Officers say the other suspects ran off. Lai is charged with robbery, burglary, and assault. An Adams County man is charged with animal cruelty after two kittens were found dead in his apartment. Charging documents say state police responded January 29th to Jason Swartz's apartment on Center Mills Road in Menallen Township after the property owner heard a noise in the upstairs apartment and thought there was an emergency. Troopers say the owner told them Swartz, the tenant, had not been in the home in several days. State police say multiple cats and dogs were found in the apartment with no food or water. Troopers say the living animals were collected and evaluated, but we don't know their conditions at this point. Hampden Township commissioners in Cumberland County voted down a proposal that would have changed the definition of certain zoning districts, which would allow for data center development. The public commented for nearly 2 hours last night, with many residents saying data centers are not in their best interest. News 8's AJ Sisson is looking into the story, and we'll have more on News 8 tonight. The state government missed another payment to school districts as the budget is nearly 3 months overdue. School administrators gathered yesterday at the Capitol urging lawmakers to pass a spending plan since nearly $3 billion has not been sent to districts. School districts and boards are trying to figure out which bills they can pay now and which ones they'll have to delay since they don't know how much money they'll get.
And they are counting every penny just to make sure that they can make payroll, that they can keep the buses employed. They're making the decisions to, potentially have to borrow at taxpayer expense.
Our decision is some of the teachers for special ed. We have more of a need there, but the funding isn't quite there yet. So now we got to understand: are we going to get the funding? So it comes down to special education positions as well as tech positions.
The State House is back in session next week. There's no word on a budget deal yet. Law enforcement agencies from across the Susquehanna Valley took part in the annual Special Olympics Torch Run to raise money for athletes. The 40-mile run is non-competitive, and it started in Cumberland County and wrapped up in Hershey. The route is split up into 16 legs, which allows participants to run up to 4.5 miles. The money raised will benefit each athlete, giving them the opportunity to play sports free of cost. They have so far raised $7,500. Organizers say they need more help to reach their goal.
One of our main focuses for our mission is community integration, right? How can we make sure that our community is involved in everything that we do from a Special Olympics perspective? This is just a great example of communities coming together to help support our mission of just providing these opportunities for athletes.
And if you'd like to help them reach their goal of $10,000, there's a link at our website, WGAL.com. It's a pretty nice looking day, and it is Friday. Meteorologist Ryan Argenti is here with a look at our forecast. Looks pretty good out there, Ryan.
Absolutely. Earlier this morning, though, I mean, we were dealing with some fairly dense fog. We had a dense fog advisory last night. We actually have a time lapse from the Lancaster Skycam. You can see a lot of that fog was really thick to start in the morning, but now we have now cleared to blue skies with mainly clear conditions, some high-level clouds in the background there. But earlier today, we did have a brief area of some energy that passed over the area that sparked a few showers, but we are expecting some more showers as we get into the weekend. We're under the influence of high pressure at this time. You can see out towards our west, but this low pressure system will eventually make its way to the Susquehanna Valley as we get into the weekend, especially for our Saturday. Into the 70s we go for our current temperatures. Dew points down to the low 60s, so it feels a little bit sticky out there across the Susquehanna Valley. 80 degrees is what we'll top out at today. Later this afternoon, remaining mostly sunny, but we will begin to increase in that cloud cover later on tonight. We'll have more on that full forecast coming up here in just a few more minutes. Susan?
All right, thank you. The Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against 6 states, including Pennsylvania, for not providing voter registration rolls. The lawsuit was also filed against California, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, and New Hampshire. It says Congress requires the Attorney General to enforce the National Voter Registration Act and the Help America Vote Act, which were created to make sure states have proper and effective voter registration. According to Attorney General Pam Bondi, every state has a responsibility to make sure voter registration records are accurate, accessible, and secure. Bondi said states that don't do that will, quote, see this Department of Justice in court. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted, charged with making a false statement and obstruction of justice. The move comes days after President Trump publicly suggested Attorney General Pam Bondi should move forward with prosecutions against Comey and other political adversaries. NBC's Alice Barr reports.
This morning, a former director of the FBI waking up as a felony defendant. James Comey now indicted by a grand jury on charges of making a false statement and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. It is a major escalation against someone President Trump sees as a political enemy.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump.
Comey posting this video overnight.
And I'm innocent, so let's have a trial.
As the president celebrated the news with the words "Justice in America." The charges stem from congressional testimony Comey gave in September 2020 when he was pressed over whether he lied to Congress years earlier about authorizing a leak to the press involving investigations into Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
I stand by what the testimony you summarized.
The statute of limitations for the charges was set to run out next week. On Saturday, President Trump publicly pressed Attorney General Pam Bondi to take action against Comey and other perceived political opponents who've investigated him. Yesterday, before the indictment, saying this.
I think I'd be allowed to get involved if I want, but I don't really choose to do so. I can only say that Comey's a bad person.
The top prosecutor tasked with leading the Comey investigation resigned last week rather than seeking an indictment, while a senior DOJ official tells NBC News career prosecutors laid out why they believe there was not enough evidence to charge in a memo to President Trump's hand-picked replacement and former personal attorney Lindsay Halligan, who has no experience as a prosecutor and is now the only one to sign Comey's charging papers. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.